everyone, my name is Dillon Gonzalez. I'm the editorial director of GeekVibesNation.com and also a co-host of the Home Dance Film Festival podcast. And welcome to a very special bonus episode of No Streaming Required. Now, regular viewers will know that we usually do a weekly show every Tuesday, but I could not wait until next week to talk about one of my most anticipated releases of the year that I got in and I'm excited to show to you. That is the 4K Ultra HD release of Drive, the 4K SteelBook release from Sony. Now, I know this has been a long time coming for a lot of us, so I will get into it, but first, a little unboxing. The 4K Ultra HD release of Drive comes in a nice SteelBook. You have the older Blu-ray disc that came out in 2012 and the new 4K disc. You have this J card, all the information, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, new featurette, and all the archival featurettes. Drive in 4K Ultra HD. Now, Drive has been a movie that has held a very special place in my heart ever since it was first released in 2011. It was released right around my birthday, so I remember grabbing up a group of friends, and we all went to see it, and I loved it. I've loved it ever since the first time I saw it. I fell in love with the world, the aesthetic, the soundtrack, the performers, everything about it. It just really vibed with me. So it's just been a movie that I've returned to quite often, and I've never grown tired of it. So it is one that I've been waiting to be released in 4K. But for those who haven't seen Drive, I won't go too far into it. It's basically stars Ryan Gosling as a nameless driver who is a stuntman by day and a getaway driver by night. He forms a connection with a woman in his building played by Carey Mulligan, and who has a young son and a husband who is in prison. And he ends up getting in over his head and getting into some additional criminal activity to try to help save her family, and things kind of spin out from there. And it's a very slick, cool movie directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, who has unfortunately not made a movie as good since this, but he really impressed me earlier than Drive with Bronson, which is a really great movie you should check out with Tom Hardy. But it's just a really a very controlled movie. It's not it's action-packed when it needs to be, but it's also very deliberate. And like with their car chases, they're not all full throttle car chases. There's a lot of very nimble driving and covert aspects that make it really cool and distinct from a lot of other kind of similar movies. It's very kind of neo-noirish. It's very entertaining. But most people probably seen the movie and already love it. So you want to know, how does it look? How does it sound on 4K? So this new 4K comes from a 4K transfer approved by Nicholas Winding Refn in Dolby Vision, and it looks very nice. So I should note that this was previously released on 4K overseas by Second Sight in what looks to be a very impressive package that's just nice packaging, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, special features that I do not own that package, but by all accounts, it's a fantastic one. So I cannot compare how it looks to this one. I do know that that release does not include some of the special features that are on here, and this release does not include some special features that were on the second sight release. So I do not know how those compare. I also don't think that the second sight release was approved by Nicholas Winding Refn, but by all accounts, it is a very nice looking release. So it's probably granular how much the differences are. But for this Dolby Vision transfer from Sony, it gives the US finally a domestic release to watch in 4K, and it is fantastic. In Dolby Vision with Dolby Atmos audio, along with the DTS 5.1 soundtrack and a DTS 2.0 track, which I guess it's just for people with sound bars who want more control. But the 5.1 and the Atmos, I think, are the most important tracks on this one. This has really nice, like, deep black levels. A lot of this takes place like driving at night, which is improved upon the Blu-ray, where there's a little bit of banding on the Blu-ray that it's cleaned up here with this new 4K transfer. The colors pop a little bit more, but are with natural. And the highlights, they're very controlled and firm, that you don't see any kind of digital noise or anything like that. It's just a very clean, nice transfer that represents the vision of the Nicholas Winding Refn to perfection, in my opinion. And the Dolby Atmos track, it's very tasteful and very, like, it kicks. Whenever you have something like a shotgun blast or the revs of an engine, it really kind of like permeates the whole room. There's some nice environmental activity in the overhead channels that kind of complement the rest of the channels in a very nice immersive way. This is just a very, like, AV wise, I think it is like a nirvana for video files and audio files. So I think fans will be very happy with how this has turned out. And regarding special features, you had the original, as you saw, the original Blu-ray disc here with all the featurettes. So some short featurettes and like a documentary with a Nicholas Winding Refn that runs about like 20-something minutes. All of that is on the original Blu-ray. On the new 4K, you have a trailer, and then you also have a new featurette that's a retrospective that is not on any other release, that runs about 14 minutes long. It involves the composer, the cinematographer, the writer, and then two of the actors. So you have Christina Hendricks, and then you have Ron Perlman. And Ron Perlman's definitely a character in this one. I really like both of their, especially the actors' anecdotes about this. And Christina Hendricks drops some interesting tidbits about how Nicholas Winding Refn originally wanted just to hire a stripper in her role, but he could not find one who would act as well as he wanted. So luckily for us, Christina Hendricks got the role, and she did a really great job in her time in the movie. So that's a really nice retrospective and added bonus for this 4K release. So for those who own the Blu-ray release who think that maybe it's good enough for them, you also get some new special features. So in addition to just a nice looking steelbook. So overall, this is Sony. They always do A+ work. The encoding is fantastic. AV presentation, excellent. New special features and just audio options, which not a lot of companies give you. A lot of times they replace the original track with only like an Atmos track, or they don't upgrade the audio. You get both here. You get all the options. So I think anyone who's a fan of this movie will be very pleased by this. So this does come out on August 27th. Make sure to pick it up because it's another fantastic release from Sony. It is one of the better movies of the 2010s, and it's so damn cool. So pick it up from Sony. Drive 4K Steelbook, August 27th. I appreciate you watching this unboxing and review video. If you liked it, please comment below. Give us a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I do weekly episodes that gives a real deep dive into all the newest releases. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next week, but until then, enjoy this movie.